Hello happy people, this is every game I've made to date in 5 minutes, let's go. My first game ever, Slidey Penguins, is a sliding puzzle game where you are a penguin with the goal of escaping the ice rink by solving for puzzles and collecting the fish tokens across 50 levels and 20 challenges. Up next, Lucky Devil is a card flipping game where you must bet on turning over as many cards as you can without finding the devil card hidden amongst the deck. Then there's Stacked Up, based on the original Stacker arcade games that stack blocks on top of each other and get the tower as tall as you can with 1 and 2 player modes. My fourth and inexplicably most popular game next is Safecracker, based on the Mastermind puzzle. Use the clues and logic to get the correct combination to unlock the safe as quickly as possible. My first Steam game, Robot Pirates, is up next, a procedurally generated platformer where you're a robot pirate collecting gems and avoiding obstacles and the approaching tidal wave as long as you can. Then there's word finding puzzle game Oh My Word, make as many words from a grid of letters as you can in the time given. Game 7 is Anomaly, a grid of numbers appear, with all except one being duplicated. Spot the one non-duplicated number, the anomaly, within the time limit. Up next is quiz show-esque game Mind Blank, with 120 lists across 4 categories. Test your knowledge by trying to complete as much of a list as you can against the clock. Then there's my biggest game to date, 999, a puzzle platformer where you have 999 lives to complete 999 levels and collect 999 stars by flinging the character ballsy through the obstacles and challenges. Game 10 is Zombie on the Dance Floor, a lights out style puzzle game where you can only move forward or rotate your zombie foot to move across 72 dance floors trying to take out the lights without stomping on a light that's already gone out. Then there's the Tomb of Värvitu, the first ever game jam game I'd ever made, a memory based top down puzzle entirely in black and white. Remember the layout of the tomb's 40 floors to reach the moon and retrace your steps to the exit. Big Bob's Breakfast is a collectathon game where you play as Bob on his scooter with broken brakes, run through the levels without stopping, avoiding the vegetables and obstacles to collect all of your breakfast over 19 delicious levels. Shuffimals is next, my most linguistically accessible game with 19 language options, a puzzle game where you shuffle the animals on a 4x4 or 5x5 grid, making sure the animals are positioned in such a way that each rule set out at the start of a puzzle is met. Village Inc. is an architect em-up where you are given rules for each of the 16 villages and must use your logic to plot and place buildings across each of the villages that meet these rules. In Game 15, Bogpiler, you play as Karen, stockpiling toilet paper while avoiding the other shoppers and bombs. Collect as much toilet paper as you can before the store closes. In Shuttle Pug, you are Captain Puggers on a journey in your spaceship from planet Tennis Balls, where trouble strikes, repair all 12 machines in your ship before it crashes. Hamboozled is a 2-sided arcade puzzle. Move each of your piggies and collect apples, but when something good happens on one side, as karma would have it, something bad happens on the other, so keep track of both pigs to get the most apples. Cactus Capers is a game where you play as a cactus, defending your desert by planting seeds and growing plants that you harvest as weapons to fight against the various enemies and creepy crawlies. Cookies and Cataracts is the first game I made that won a game jam, a platformer turned memory puzzle where you must play as an old lady collecting cookies across 24 levels, then making it back to her chair while your vision fades around you. Game 20, Vocabulous, is Wordle, basically. I made this before Wordle came out because I got the idea from a game show called Lingo, but unlike Wordle, you can play this one as much as you like, and it didn't get bought for 7 figures by the New York Times. Not that I'm bitter or anything. Swiftly Make Sandwich is an arcade game where you swiftly make as many sandwiches for the ducks as you can within the 1-minute timer. Second to None is a top-down fighting game where you're a nun fighting demons and hell creatures while collecting coins where you must gamble between using them to upgrade yourself and buy items or save up to the end goal, which is to get 1,000 coins before you get defeated. Disc Recovery is a minigame collection where you must discover and remove viruses from as many CDs as you can using your Jellybean Virus Fighter. Pac-Cat is a game where you must chase down the mice ghosts before the time runs out in each of the 30 levels. While not available to the public, this game was commissioned by a client. Moon Stealers is a platformer with a twist. Collect moons and return to the exit over 24 levels, but plan your route and collect your moons wisely as each level gets more difficult when you collect more moons. Game 26, Numlock, is my first ever game made exclusively for children's education platform Funterra, teaching children math over 18 levels by saving ducks with your magical powers to place numbered blocks on mathematical scales to open barriers. Contextual Misunderstanding is another children's educational game teaching emotional intelligence, decipher the context of a text message and stand on the correctly corresponding emoji. Run Monkey Run is another game unavailable to the public as it was commissioned by a client, in which you must run, jump and climb through procedurally generated jungle to collect as many bananas as you can while avoiding the obstacles and falling off the platforms. Meditatinator is an arcade game where capitalism meets meditation. Use your meditation skills to earn money from calming your clients, use the money to decorate your studio and pay your ever-increasing bills, and don't go bankrupt for as long as you can. My 30th game, The Tomb of Juveel, another one exclusive to Funterra, teaching children logical reasoning through fighting slimes to get gems, then solving clues to get the correct combination of gems needed to move the totem poles blocking your exit. Wordy Totems, also a children's educational game targeted especially towards younger children, is a platformer where you must get the correct letters to spell out the word for your totem pole across 20 levels. Disco Diviner is a top-down Halloween-themed rhythm-based spell-casting fighter. Cast spells to beat the enemies, collect candies from them to get more spells, and survive all the 5 waves of increasing difficulty to get the best score. Drone Bar is a game where you fulfill customer drinks orders by controlling a drone balancing drinks. As the game used clients' assets, I cannot show you this one as it is still under NDA. And KWG Order Timer is a productivity tool used to gamify fulfilling orders that I've made for an ex-partner. The less said about that one, the better. And finally, Ruthless Ruth is a top-down toy tank shooter. Ruth, reminiscing a time where the city was all fields, goes on a shooting rampage to take down the buildings across endlessly procedurally generated levels while police bring their cars, tanks and choppers out to try and stop her.